So I'm going to start by doing bell work here with you and going step by step. So you said it right. You said, Miss, I need to remove the brackets by distributing. So we're going to start there. Negative 5 times 2 is negative 10x, and negative 5 times negative 1 is a positive 5. And what happened to the negative 2 here? You just have to bring it down. No, what happens to this negative 2? You just bring it down. He's not ready to be used yet because we had to distribute first. And the negative 2 has to be a little patient and wait for our next step. But I could simplify what's going on here. What's going on here? Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
Multiplication.
No, it's not.
But there's a bracket.
There is a bracket, but the bracket is not stuck to the 3 like this.
No, it's like 2 negatives.
Right. So 2 negatives become what? It's a plus. So it's not a multiplication, but a plus. So 3 plus 2 can be brought down as 5. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Srivan, look here. What can we do here next? Could we put like terms together? Is there anything that looks the same or should go together?
Yeah.
The negative 2?
And the negative 10.
Well, no, the negative 10 has an x. So the negative 2 and the x's, but the x's can't go together with the numbers.
No, but it's like, it's a positive with a 5. Yeah?
Right, the plus 5 and the minus 2 can go together
It's not like,
because they are just numbers.
okay, yeah.
So we can put them together. So we could use our calculator, we do minus 2 plus 5, and it gives me a positive 3. What do I do with the negative 10x just for now?
Bring it down.
Bring it down. Negative 10x, just wait, equals 5. Remember, I want my equal signs to always be in a row. What's the objective? Is to have the x by itself to the left equal to a number to the right, to the value that it's worth. Now we have all kinds of tricks that we're doing. All of this part so far is not tricks because we still haven't gotten to the part where we're leaving x by itself. Now I need to get x by itself. What can I remove? How can I get rid of a number here? Which number should be removed first?
3.
The plus 3. How can I remove this?
You bring it
Over to the other side. But the way that I bring it to the other side, the only way he's allowed to go see his friend 5 is if it becomes a negative. So it has to change. So from adding 3 on the other side, I have to subtract 3. So this way, I'm able to remove it. So we're getting closer. We've got 5 minus 3 is 2. And we're left with negative 10x. So we're almost there because the x has to be alone. And the only thing between that's getting between where we have to be is this negative 10. So what do we do to negative 10 to bring him to this side? Because he's a multiplication, he then becomes, what's the opposite operation?
division.
Yeah, so divided by negative 10. And this, in a way, is your final answer, except it should be reduced to negative 1 over 5 if you were to leave it as a fraction. And if you're happier with decimals, then you would take your calculator and do negative, and then just do 1 divided by 5, which is 0.2. Okay? We're going to take it one step at a time over here. What's the first thing that I do? Distribute. The negative 6 must be distributed to the 4 and to the 2. Does it get distributed to the negative 8? No. The negative 8 is not in its brackets. It's by itself. It has to be patient. So I'm going to distribute for you, which gives you negative 6 times 4 is negative, and negative 6 is a negative 12, and the negative 8 will just come down as a minus 8 or negative 8, and then I'm going to multiply negative 4 times 3 would give me negative 12. So this is a great line to start with, because we freed the brackets, we carried down some extras that are waiting patiently to get to the end of x is equal to a value. What can we do here? Do we see anything that we can put together, like terms? Simplify. Yes. The negative 12 and the negative 8. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so on your calculator, do minus 12, or negative 12, minus 8. What do you get?
Negative 20.
Good. So now negative 24x is first. Wait patiently. We kind of do the minus 20 as a simplifying situation, equals negative 12. To remove everything away from this x, I want the x to be by itself. The first thing I do is get rid of the negative 20. Bring it over as a positive 20. Now use your calculator. Negative 12 plus 20 equals 8. I still have a negative 24x. So the last thing that I have to get rid of so that my x is by itself is this negative 24. And because this is negative 24 times x, the opposite operation on this side would be to divide negative 24. And that removes that. And now I'm left with x is equal to a negative answer. I don't know what that negative answer is. You would do 8 divided by 24. 0.3 to the infinity. Perfect. And the last question, probably the easiest, is negative 3 times 7 is negative 21. X is equal to negative 21. How? Because I have a division, and a division, when I change the operation to its opposite operation, becomes a times negative 3. And that's how I remove it away from there. Yes. So, these are the 3 questions that I'm going to ask you to do for homework and to check to see if you get them right with this video. Got it? So for now, the negative 5 comes down and waits patiently while I distribute the negative 3 to the 2x and to the 1. So negative 3 times 2 is negative 6x. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Equals 7. I see that negative 5 and negative 3 can be combined as like terms. So I'll bring down the negative 6 for now and put this and this together at negative 8 equals still 7. I'm going to see if this marker is any darker. Bring over the minus 8 to become plus 8, which is now 7 plus 8 is 15. And I need to remove the negative 6 from the x. Because it's a multiplication, I can do that by removing it by dividing by negative 6 on this side. This gets rid of this. We are finally where we want to be at x is equal to, and remember I want my equal signs to look like this. 15 divided by negative 6 is going to be a negative answer. So you could use your calculator to do 15 divided by 6. 2.5. So final answer, negative 2.5. Number 2. Distribute the negative to the x and to the 4. Boom! Negative x minus 4 minus 10 equals, what's negative 3 times 5? Negative 15. And how do I do this? Well, first of all, I see that this is actually can be put together as negative 14. And then I can remove it from this side as a plus 14. Boom, bring it over. We are left with a negative x is equal to negative 1. Right? Negative 15 plus 14 is negative 1. I am not allowed this, so x is equal to, give this negative to this side. 2 negatives become a positive 1. And finally, on this third question, that you're going to go home and rewrite these 3 questions here. You're going to go home and rewrite them. You're going to try it. And then you're going to check out the video to see if you got the right answer. And if you don't get the right answer, you should follow with me and my voice. Peace out. Here. Watch me do it right. Got it? So I'm on the last one. This is negative 20. I just want to make sure you see that. And then I'm going to bring over my minus 2 as a plus 2. So we have negative 18. This removes that. And I am going to remove the multiplication of negative 6 by dividing by negative 6. Final answer, x is equal to a positive 3. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. 18 divided by 6 is a whole 3. We're going to do 3 more because that's going to be for homework too. 3 last questions. Follow with me. Follow, 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 follow. Make sure you know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. The negative 6 for now comes down like this. Waits patiently while I distribute my negative to both the x and to the 2, which gives me a negative 15. This seems to be the number I keep putting in. Not on purpose, but negative 15. Then I'm going to do negative 6 and negative 2, which is minus 8. So I have negative x minus 8 equals negative 15. The order of this doesn't matter. I could have had negative 8 minus x. It doesn't matter. What it matters is to remove it from this side by bringing it over here as a plus 8. So this removes it. We're almost there. We're almost where we want to be. Negative 15 plus 8 is negative 7. We want to take this away, so we bring it over here, and x is now equal to a positive 7. Please stay with me till the bell. Number 2, negative 10 times x, negative 10x. Negative 10 times 1, negative 10, equals negative 4 times 2, negative 8. Removing the negative 10, carrying it over as a plus 10. I then have a positive 2. And on this side, I have a negative 10x. To remove the multiplication of negative 10, it becomes a division of negative 10. I can leave it as a reduced fraction or as a decimal of negative 0.2. And the last question, which some of you are finding really easy now, because I'm dividing, becomes a multiplication. I now have x is equal to 12. Done. Those are your questions for homework.